I love my twins so much. Like, we're just like really close, and we just, you know, talk to each other about like everything. We're like best friends. It's really nice because we always have someone to hang out with, and like when we're playing video games, if there are certain things you can only get with multiplayer, just play together. It's perfect.
Here is kind of our fashionista. She likes to express herself through clothing and all that. She's actually interested in fashion design. Kate is very much into girl power. She's kind of fascinated by Renaissance, medieval.
She has her own YouTube station. She's very connected with other YouTubers, and she's Hollywood bound.
Kate seemed to take 4. Action.
It's a little bit of a blur, just like when you have a newborn baby and then you can't remember how you survived those early days and when everything got better.
It was somewhere in the middle of 7th grade, I think, where we just, stuff was getting really bad at home.
They started having a lot of issues around competition with each other, and it came out in the form of food and exercise.
Our parents wanted to take us to this other clinic, but I like refused to go, and they would only do one of us because they were not sure like what to do about the fact that we were twins. They were just like, what, twins? Okay, so Kate went in and did an intake, and then they wanted to put us in a clinic for eating disorders.
I mean, I knew she wasn't eating much. I knew she was thin. I knew she was over-exercising in odd ways, but it was not eating. It was different.
Somehow they were able to get us into Doernbecher. They know more about this, and like Dr. Jet Milani, who's my doctor, you know, wasn't accepting patients, but somehow he was able to do like, you know, first like 3 intakes on us. I was really fortunate that we got to be with him, and then he diagnosed us with OCD. It has the stereotype of being the people who over-organize everything or wash their hands all the time, but that's not the case for everyone. I think that's a common misconception. Because for me, you know, and Kate, it was kind of a competitive thing where we both kind of tried to eat less and exercise more, or about like just as much as each other, because we had this competition to be the same but different at the same time. So we didn't want either of us to be like, you know, the different one. But at the same time, we were fighting to figure out who we were individually.
I feel like my children were standing on this little cliff, and he just sort of plucked them up and put them back on solid ground. It took a while. They had a chip on their shoulder. They didn't want to talk to him. They didn't even like him at first. They adore him now. It took a while, but he did it, they did it, and they're just people now.
I feel like for OCD or for any real mental problem, like the first step is kind of recognizing that you have a problem, and then the next step is wanting to get better. I've been able to succeed a lot more since we've gotten better because my mind isn't so preoccupied with the OCD that now I can focus on my dreams and achieving my goals, and it's just, I can focus on what's important. When I was first designing shoes, I made some cool ones, but then I thought, you know, these don't feel like me. So I've got the Phoenix here. I like the Phoenix because it's got this idea of, well, there's like the fire, which is all fierce and bold and brave, and also it's like being reborn from the ashes of something, which really fits with like my story. You know, it's just like, oh, when I had OCD, it's just like, you know, you reduced down to like nothing, and then the new me's reborn from the ashes. Like, a lot of this is just because I like it.
Kira has a long passage from one of hers in the inside of the tongue of the shoe that she really feels will help other people.
I would like to really do something to remove the stigma on the mentally ill so people can seek help without being stigmatized or outcasts. And I really like to change that, so it's kind of something I like to show through my shoe.